My name's Tim Kelly. I'm with Rochester Software Associates. So today what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about implant challenges. What do our customers tell us, the things that concern them? How do you develop a game plan where you deliver greater value to your organization? That's going to be an underlying theme this morning, is how does the implant become a strategic asset within the organization rather than the recipient of print jobs. We're not in an environment anymore where you can sit back in the print center and your job is to print whatever comes in. If that's all you're doing, then you're one of the best candidates around to be outsourced. We look and we see, what's the advantage of an implant? Why do some organizations have a strong implant? Others may not even have one anymore. Again, another analysis, it's pretty much accepted that you can have a 10 to 30% price advantage, cost advantage in your own implant versus going outside. So how do you drive that through your organization? It goes back to that concept of how do we create value? So you have to look at these three areas of influence. What are the market trends in your organization? So how is color growing in your organization? What's new in your marketing department, in your sales department? Looking at each one of your customers, what's changed in their environment? Regulations have increased. What has that done to their printing? Compliance is a very important item in a financial marketplace. So how do I balance time to market, getting something out right away, with documents having to go through regulatory compliance, internal legal compliance? So we look at what are the marketing trends, how they affect your organization, and then within your institution, within your organization, what's unique. So what are some of the stumbling blocks that you hear about in your organization that you can step up and provide a solution for, rather than just making copies? And then, what's the technology? What's the capability within the implant itself? Some of the things that strike me are the continual reduction in costs of equipment and cost per impression. We've all seen how the cost of cut sheet color has gone down dramatically over the last 5 years. We're seeing inkjet here being the really hot item in the transactional space. So what are some of the trends out there that now change the environment and you have to adapt your implant to meet the needs of your organization? So how do you align your strategy with that of your organizations? First thing is you have to be part of the discussion. Further on down the line there, have a seat at the table. That's something that we talk a lot about with implants. How are you represented in the corporate environment, in your organization? Do you have a seat at the table for discussions about what's your total print spend, not just what's your budget in the implant? How do you align yourself to support your organization's goals and objectives? So we start, first of all, do you know where your print is? So your organization spends X millions of dollars in print. what percentage of that goes through your implant? Where is the rest of it going? And why is it going someplace else? What can you do to affect the overall cost of print in your organization? It's not taking a blind eye approach and saying we want to reduce print, so we don't want our implant print center to grow and pretend that it's not all going someplace else. And are you carrying that message? Are you servicing all of your customers? So when's the last time you did an analysis of what percentage of your business comes from various customers, various departments? Who are your best customers that you can sit down with and say, do we have all of your business? If we don't, then why not? Where's it going? What services do I not offer to you that cause you to go elsewhere? Do I have those services? I see a growing trend when we talk to customers, and one of them, UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, Tasha is speaking later this week at a luncheon. One of their big goals is looking at all print. So when you think about it, who knows more about printing than you do? You are the print experts in your organization. So why is somebody in marketing deciding where they're going to print the collateral material? Or why is somebody in finance making that decision, or even purchasing for that matter? You're the print expert. Why wouldn't you have all print come to you and you decide, am I capable of printing this here? Is it in the best interest of my organization to print it in my print center, or should I outsource it? We're not saying that we as the implant can do every job that the organization needs printing. There are some jobs that are better off being printed by some outside resource. But who should control that? You're the print expert. Why isn't it your decision as to when and where to outsource that? And that's one of their big platforms for the year, their next big change, and we'll talk about that. So aligning your objectives and goals with that of your organization and having a seat at the table is important. And in driving value, it starts with, again, where is your print? The data center, the various departments, sales, marketing, what's being outsourced, what are the new applications? So marketing now is really jumped on the bandwagon with personalizing materials. Whether I'm an insurance company that supplies collateral materials to agents across the country, and now rather than putting that in a warehouse and shipping them out and having millions of dollars in warehouse costs and waste when something changes, I print that on demand, and at the same time I personalize it. So my agent in Oklahoma City has their name and information on it, just like my agent in Los Angeles. And while I'm at it, why not control who gets to print what and where? One of our customers, Mid-America, provides insurance for long-term care. And one of the things they did when they eliminated their warehouse and went to on-demand printing for all of their agents across the country is also built into rules within their web-to-print system that said, I'm in California. Well, in California, the regulations are all different. So the forms that I use for the same long-term care are all different than the forms in New York State. So when I log in to order forms or collateral material, I only see those for California. I can't order anything from New York. Well, previously with the inventory, everybody had a couple sheets of paper that listed every document. They would fill out a form, send it in, wait a couple weeks. They'd get their documents back. Now they get it back to them within 48 hours. So not only did they eliminate outside resource, offset printing, inventory storage, but they shortened the cycle of delivery from 2 weeks to 2 days and added personalization. So how many examples are there in your organization where you could provide that added strategic value? Time to market and a better quality product to your customer. Once you know where all your print is, and you start to do that analysis of, can I service all of my customers? Do I have the right equipment? If I now see that we have X thousands of dollars going to an outside printer because we don't have this folding capability, does that mean that I should then go out and get the folding capability to do it in-house? That might be the case. You do that analysis. Once we know where that print is, we're starting to drive it back into our print center. That's where today's workflow tools come in. So one of the things that we also see, and virtually all the cases that we'll talk about today, these customers have seen 30 to 300% increase in print volume without adding any staff. Well, how do you triple your volume and not add any staff? The only way I know to do that is with strong workflow solutions. So you've got to automate more. You've got to reduce the touches. You can't have somebody physically touching, doing make-ready on every job that comes in. You can have a high percentage of your jobs submitted, PDF, print ready, proof by the customer, go right to the printer. And as you increase your print volume, you have to have that capability. Taking advantage of your capabilities to provide print at a lower cost than an outside resource. One way you do that is to drive volume without increasing your costs. Another underlying theme with the whole in-plant success story is customer satisfaction. So when you go out and you talk to your customers and find out why are they not using your print center, you might find out things like they had a bad experience 2 years ago. So we're going outside now. Or it's too difficult to order from the print center. Or the turnaround time isn't what I expect. And you'll find, as in the case a lot of times, that those objections either are not real, they're not based on the current facts and capabilities of your print center, or you just have to prove to them that you now have the capability to do some of those things that they felt were not in your print center at that time, or even today. Providing faster turnaround time, and in many cases, better quality. One of our customers, Sherwin-Williams, did an interesting analysis as they were looking at managing external print spend with internal. They sent a number of black and white and color jobs to their own print center, to two of their largest external online print sources that we mentioned earlier in the presentation. And then they looked and they compared them. Well, color was very easy. As you can imagine, an organization like Sherwin-Williams, having the right colors and having their logo print in their colors and be perfect is extremely important. The only one that hit that was the in-plant print center. They don't have control outside of the calibration of the color, and it was close sometimes, but in terms of brand identity, the in-house print center far exceeded anything that went outside. Who is more important, more interested in protecting your brand than you are? And then even in the black and white side, you said, well, everybody can print mono, right? Well, they didn't always all come out exactly as they expected. There'd be a page here or there that was skewed, some speckling, a couple pages where they lost some resolution. Again, who's more interested in the quality of the documents than you are for your organization? So we're going to talk about 4 very progressive implants and look at some of the things that they've done to drive value in their organization. There's some resources listed there, a white paper on implants, some of these case studies, and quarterly implant tips that we continually update as we get ideas from customers. We publish those so you can look at it and see what other print centers are doing on a monthly and quarterly basis.